G'day, this is Captainoob and this is an AK-400. This is a somewhat customizable stand-alone automatic rifle type weapon with custom sounds and animations. That pretty much covers it. Let's get into the attachments, and first of all, for the receivers, we'll put that up to automatic advanced armor piercing receiver. Gives us 163 damage and a little bit more increased range than we get with the standard receiver there. So that's alright, doing pretty good damage so far. And we'll put the improved barrel on it to increase our range and accuracy even further. We can have a folded stock if we feel like it. It looks like this is just a cosmetic thing, so do with that what you please. And you can have a quick eject magazine to have a little bit of a faster reload. That will require gun nut rank 4. What's so different about the mag? I don't really know, but apparently it's a lot more advanced. And you can have a bunch of sights on this, which is pretty good. A basket sight is what I usually like. That's my favorite sight right now, so that's pretty good. You can have all of these aim points, and there's even scopes down here, which we'll check out later, but we'll just use the basket right now. And you can change the position of the sight. I like the sight being a little bit closer, although that's a nice option if you feel like having the sight a little bit further away. And for the muzzles, you can either have an Osprey suppressor, which kind of looks like a 10mm pistol suppressors, or you could have a PST-1 suppressor. That one looks a little bit better on the AK-400, so I'll chuck that on. I'll be sure to use this without a suppressor, so you can hear the sounds of this thing unsuppressed. And then we can attach something to the left attachment on the barrel there. So we'll go for a laser sight. Why the hell not, eh? And we can go and attach something on the right. You can attach a flashlight, laser sight, liner, or flashlight with laser sight. That looks so goofy. Let's go ahead and chuck on the flashlight. Why the hell not? And you can make the material different, changing the camo of it. It's a nice and subtle change, doesn't completely overhaul the weapon. I like digital grey, that seems to work pretty well. And you can change the damage of this if it isn't quite doing it for you. We're playing on very hard difficulty, and I think 203 is going to be just fine. And a legendary is there if we need it. We won't need it, we're going to use this thing as is. Look at how goofy that is, that's perfect. Alright, we'll move on to Gunner's Plaza. Alrighty, so here we are in Gunner's Plaza, as we usually are, and taking a look at this thing in first person, looks alright. That laser sight looks pretty sharp. It might just be because of Visceral EMB, but definitely looks better than it did with Vogue EMBs going on. So yep, that's the flashlight, and if you go into third person, you'll see that flashlight actually glow. That's some pretty good stuff there. We'll turn around, have a look at this weapon in third person. Aim the thing, please. There we go. So yeah, you hold it by the mag, which is not really a common thing. I know you hold the 10mm submachine gun in Fallout 76 like that, so there you go. So we're hitting these guys for 510 with sneak attack crits with our little stealth commando style here. And as you can tell, we're decimating everything. There's very little recoil to speak of, and you don't have to pull the charging handle despite firing all the bullets if you've got the quick eject mag, so yeah, there you go. I'll switch over to the other mag so you can actually see the full animation, but for reference, this is what it looks like in third person. Oh, you pull the charging handle in third person, but you don't bother even if you dry the mag? Yeah, okay. This thing has some weird feeding system, apparently. Okay, we'll have a look at that animation in full a little bit later, but for now, we'll switch over to our unsuppressed one. This one has the Eerie Text sight on it, which is one of my favorites. I really do like my Eerie Text. And despite being in danger, we're still doing pretty good damage with this. Everything's looking a bit grey. I'll just go out of crouching mode because we're not even sneaking anymore. Alright. Here are the gunners. We'll test this out in VATS just a little bit. So it looks like we can do it in about 1 or 2 bursts. Probably 1 burst on every consecutive target after the first, since we get a little bit of extra gun through damage. So the next one should definitely be a kill. Not quite. Okay, maybe I was overestimating this thing and gun foo in general. But regardless of that, we'll quickly pop a reload and then continue. See, I'm not really punished for reloading in a potentially bad time because that reload's so quick, you're pretty much ready to go again as soon as, you know, the mag's in, which is kind of odd, but yeah. Performance-wise, this thing has actually been pretty good. And bash animations is that, and when you actually go into a wall and face the weapon down, it does this. And when you put the camera in this direction, the whole gun lifts up, which is kind of odd. I'm not sure why it does that. Maybe that's realistic. I don't know. Proper handling techniques. I just shoot guns in video games. Anyways, we'll go ahead and take out the rest of these guys. maybe get a little bit of hip fire thing, because yeah, this thing's hip fire is pretty good. We can fire on the move quite well. Captain Bridget showing up a little bit late, but we can get her in less than a mag, which is pretty good. This thing is definitely ticking the boxes in terms of damage. And yeah, I didn't mention earlier, but this thing is injected into the level list, so you can also find a unique variant. You loaded up this game with this mod installed, and you'll get a quest called Gravedigger. Do that quest and you'll find yourself with that. But if you want to get it for easily on PC, just use console commands like me, because I'm lazy. But there you have it, the AK400 in Gunner's Plaza does very, very well indeed, so let's test it someplace else. Alrighty, so we've attached a few scopes on our AK400, so, ooh, it's a see-through scope. That actually looks kind of cool. This one, however, isn't a see-through scope. That just appears to be a times 4, I think, times 3 or something, short scope, which is fine for a automatic rifle anyway. Anything more than that is honestly just pushing it. So let's get started with our loud and proud thing. Maybe not the best idea to engage them like that. Burst firing is a good way to, or tap firing is a good way to retain accuracy, because this thing does kick a little bit, so of course having a scope that is more magnification, a higher powered scope would be a terrible idea, but this is okay. You can sort of get this out to medium range, and also here's that reload animation. Very nice. You can't really see the charging handle being pulled, but again, you can see it in third person. Anyway, switching over back to our suppressed variant, we'll take on the muties over here, the screaming muties. Alright, who have we got? Usually there's a bloke on patrol with his doggo. There he is, he's facing the wrong way. We'll just go out a little bit on the road so we can see them properly. That super mutant will moonwalk out of there, but before he can get to his friends, we'll go ahead and take him out. That super mutant is not at his post. Yeah, the thing that sucks about using scopes like this with a weapon that's got that sort of visual rattling recoil about it is that it's sometimes easy to lose your targets. Fortunately for big super mutants, they fill our crosshairs very easily, so it's not going to be too much of a problem. We've also got good hip fire to back us up anyway if we're in that close quarters extreme of a situation. Didn't get any sneak attack crits on him, but still managed to get him with a nice, well-placed mag dump there. Ooh, okay. Bullets should have been going over that, but there's that lowering weapon again. When you point the camera that way, it just rises up. Alright, never mind. Let's keep going. That bastard, he was so close. Luckily, I've got the floating health bars. That actually helps me spot these guys pretty easily. And of course, with a see-through scope, if you feel like it's too much, you can just use the aiming down sights in third person to have a much clearer reflex sight, sort of zoom in. And what's good about this scope is it's got like a little bit of a iron sight thing at the top, so I guess when you switch to third person, you'd be using that little thing instead, which is actually kind of cool, but obviously that's not... I'm just making excuses for how the game works there, but I feel like that's a cool excuse for it. We'll go for a critical. They said nice try. I guess I've been found. We'll switch back over to my scoped one, and then we'll kill these super mutants up nice and close. Ah yes, doing some pretty good damage with those headshots there. Very good stuff out of the AK400. It's a good thing, or it's a good mod to come back to Fallout 4 with, because I've been playing Fallout 76 for a while. I've been grinding out that game, and yeah, before Fallout 76 came along, Fallout 4 was my jam. I still think this game's better, to be honest. Alright, I think we're mostly cleared at this point. Stuttering is fun. It's probably just the mutant doggo that lives in here, because I'm pretty sure I killed the guy in the bus, so we'll just quickly enter up here, and yep, there's the doggo sleeping. Wow, I've never seen him in that animation before. How many hours I've put in this damn game, I've never seen that. Anyways, regardless of that, we'll move on to Gerald, and we're going to be using a suppressor sneak attack thing, so stealth commandoing, and we'll pop a quick reload before we start. Alright, let's go. Pretty good damage so far. We'll zero on with his face, just using a little bit of VATS, because I've neglected VATS thus far, and doing a critical there, almost 1000 damage with that burst, so pretty good stuff, and there we go. Little bit more due to concentrated fire will get us over that 1k mark. Tanky bastard can take it though. It's these kind of damage numbers, so we could probably solo the queen with these damage numbers if we were playing Fallout 76, but obviously none of the weapons do that much damage. I mean, Stealth Commander, you can get close, but usually you get detected at some point by all the Queen's cronies, so yeah. Until I can get an environment where I can properly solo the Scorched Beast Queen without any other play interruption of the event, then I can actually work on builds that you can actually solo the Queen. Or maybe I won't even bother, because there will always be people to help you and back you up, so maybe it might be an interesting one-off, because it'll never happen. Anyways, I should actually talk about Fallout 4 here, shouldn't I? So, having no problems with the performance of this weapon, it seems to be in good shape. If you're playing on lesser difficulties, you'll find this thing to be a lot more powerful, but for what it's worth, I think this is pretty well balanced. It's got enough power to it that you actually want to use it over vanilla weapons. It's got enough polish on it to make it feel nice when you shoot it, when you reload it, when you fire it, when you play with it. It's a good all-round mod, and I think I'm gonna leave things there as my computer screeches to a halt once again. Yeah, loading stuff in takes a lot of CPU space. I need to look into fixing that. But yep, if you'd like to see this mod in your game, check out the description. Thank you very much for watching, guys.